The man stared ahead in terror, quickly submerging his head underwater. He held his breath, not daring to move a muscle. Suddenly, a pair of enormous feet appeared before his eyes. The sheep below scurried away, but a giant hand snatched them up in an instant. The man, still buried in the water, remained motionless. The next moment, a horrifying scene unfolded, leaving him stunned. The frightened man's mouth gaped open in shock. His companion, hiding behind a tree, breathed a sigh of relief before curiosity got the better of him. He peeked out to observe, staring in disbelief at the colossal being before him. Lost in amazement, the giant seemed to catch his scent. Mark, filled with fear, hastily retreated behind the tree. The giant took a few steps forward, and the man, unable to hold his breath any longer, burst to the surface. To his dismay, the giant had already spotted Mark behind the tree. With a single motion, the giant uprooted the entire tree. Sensing the danger, Mark stumbled backward. The two locked eyes for what felt like an eternity. The giant stood there, transfixed, watching Mark sprint away at full speed, unfazed by his escape attempt. In a matter of seconds, the giant closed the distance and knocked Mark unconscious with a gentle tap. Intrigued by the unfamiliar human, the giant leaned in for a closer look. Just as he picked up Mark to leave, the captain, desperate to save his friend, charged forward with his sword drawn. He plunged the blade deep into the giant's ankle. The giant glanced back, wincing in pain. With a mere flick of his foot, the captain was sent flying, crashing into a rock and losing consciousness. The giant plucked the sword from his foot and carried both men away. Jack watched helplessly as his companions fell into the giant's clutches. The giant, pleased with his catch, turned and walked away. Jack, terrified of being discovered, quickly submerged himself once more. Fortunately, the giant hadn't noticed him as he passed by. Once the giant was out of sight, Jack quietly trailed behind him, seeking an opportunity to rescue his friends.